Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call to order the April 4th Architectural Review Board meeting. Can we, first of all, let's say the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for
all. Can you please call the roll?
Sure. So, Enda McIntyre,
Here.
Carlos Garcia-Bo,
Yeah.
Jennifer Nemesak,
Here.
Silvio Luca,
Here.
and Lori Raffiani is not here yet.
Okay, hopefully she's on her way. So we have a number of items on the tonight's agenda, but first of all, do we have a number of quorum to be able to approve the November 2nd, 2023 meeting minutes?
Yes, Jennifer, Carlos, and Enda can vote on those.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion that we approve the November 2nd meeting minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and then we have January 4th meeting minutes.
Yes, we can proceed with those, Jennifer, Carlos, and Silvio.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion, we approve those January 4th meeting minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and the last one is March 7th.
And we'll have to hold off on those maybe till the end of the meeting.
Okay, all right. Okay, so without further ado, we have 4 items on tonight's agenda. First application is 23-38, located at 210 Hillside Avenue.
Please.
Yeah, you can lay out whatever you want to lay out there as part of your presentation, and
Just make sure to speak into the microphone.
yeah, speak into the mic
Microphone?
at the podium. And, yeah,
We get it while we're, we can give some photos of the existing conditions also.
okay.
Okay. Good evening, members of the board. My name is Greg Ketchapoli, engineer on the project at 210 Hillside. Today is first we appeared before the ZBA and got approved for 3 variances. One is a rear yard setback, a side yard setback, and a parking variance for 1 spot. So the existing building as is today is a flat roof building. It has 2 different elevations. On the left side of the building is higher than the right side. Here are the existing conditions. Joe, can you hold this, please? So here on the north side of the building is about 6.5 feet higher than the south side of the building, and our proposal will bring the roof up to be level, and then it switches from a flat roof to hip roofs, and we are adding an overhang to the front of the building that is approximately 7 feet. And that's pretty much it in terms of the general scope of the changes. The materials that we're proposing are, the columns are to be square tapered columns by Craftsman, Permacast.
This is the exact
To support the overhang, right?
Correct. These are the columns to support the overhang.
Mhm.
The stucco, we have a sample here, is bright white Decoplast. And the plan for stucco is to actually stucco it new, go over the existing. So there were thoughts of painting, and I think the final decision is to just re-stucco the building. At the base of the columns, we plan on doing stucco also, but there's gonna be a brick coping. Standard brick.
Veneer or solid brick?
Solid brick. And the roofing material is standard architectural shingles, gray, which I have a sample of here. Gutters are to be aluminum white aluminum gutters. And I believe, oh yeah, and our trims are gonna be PVC white trim. We couldn't get a sample to bring to you, but it's gonna be standard PVC white trim. Garage doors, the plan is to clean them and paint them white. That's, I believe I touched on everything that, the entire plan.
The doors are manual, they're chain operated, or they're automatic? They're electric, okay. So this is kind of, is this sort of almost considered like a loading and unloading, like trucks backing in? That's why you have the brick basis on the columns?
It's more for two purposes. One purpose was for aesthetics.
Sorry, yeah, can you just use the microphone? Thanks.
Don't mind?
Hi, I'm Joe Gentile. I'm actually the owner of the property. And I'm also the contractor that would be doing the work. It's really, the only purpose of doing this is for two purposes. Purpose one is for aesthetics, and purpose two is, my father owned this building before me, so this building's been in my life all my life. It's a flat roof. I'm just tired of every 10 years doing a new roof. It just, I don't care what people tell me. I've had every contractor in the world do roofs for me. They always leak. So we have a leak right now in the building. I want to eliminate the leak. I said it looks aesthetically nicer if we did a hip roof. And the neighbor to the left of me, he has a hip roof. It's identical to what his would look like as well. It just cleans up the building. That's really all we're looking to do.
But the sort of loading and unloading, is there going to be trucks backing in or driving in? Like, what's the use of the facility?
This has an antique truck in it now. There's a 1968 dump truck that was my dad's. That's pretty much all that fits in this garage.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the overhang was for the aesthetics with the columns. I thought it would look prettier.
Right.
Okay. Other than that, no. I mean, do I need the columns? Probably not. I put them in there to make it look prettier.
But use of the building,
Yeah, I mean, I wash my truck in here. I wax it. You know what I mean? There's some antique stuff that my dad had that's still in the building. We don't use this building daily. Like, we're seldomly there.
I got you. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Anything else? There's no other enhancement or improvements, lighting, or any sort of additional services or anything like that? There's I guess a new roof vent being proposed, right? Is that 1600 CFM?
Yeah, that's because we need ventilation is definitely one of the requirements. I put them on the rear of the roof so that it's not seen.
So it's just exhaust, right? Like,
Correct.
So just to,
Exhaust
Reduce
the
the
attic
heating.
elevation. Because you need a certain air exchange rate.
and that's just that's a vent, is the exhaust in the roof space?
Yes.
So all you see on the roof is just the vent?
Right, the cat for it,
Yeah.
which is like a square black PVC box, but it's positioned on the rear so that it's not in your face.
Okay. Okay, anybody here have any sort of comments on? What's been
Basically, the
presented?
purpose of this building, you're using it for storage? That's what you're using it for? What's the purpose? What are you inside the building?
Yeah, one time it used to be my dad's yard,
Yeah.
okay? We have a huge yard now in Yonkers.
Yeah.
I just don't want to sell the building because it's sentimental to me.
Right.
So, yeah, so right now I have, like I said, an antique truck in here,
Yeah.
and that's pretty much all that's in there.
what you have,
You know what I mean? And I have a little vegetable garden in the front that, because my dad's still alive, we use that as well.
So there's not constant traffic going through?
No,
it?
not at all.
Anything else? I know you had made a comment on this sort of little, sort of,
Well, the only big comment that I have is on the detail on your roof, where you're gonna accumulate a lot of snow at that time. The detail, section 8, that area there, I'm just,
You're saying this detail, like on the,
that's what that is?
it's really because we
cricket,
have
yeah.
the brick building that we're,
Cricket?
yeah, because we're butting up against that brick building.
Okay,
So I'm trying to move water out of there.
okay.
I liked this better than a built-in gutter because it's literally right on the property line, and I just felt,
Okay, good.
anything else? Anything from this side?
No.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to open up application number 23-38, 210 Hillside, to the public hearing.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, anybody here that would like to speak regarding this application? Now's your time. Anybody here? Okay, seeing there's nobody here that's looking to speak on that, I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing on
Second.
23-38.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the public hearing is now closed on this application. So, any other comments in
No, I'm good.
closing?
No.
Okay, I think this is pretty much straightforward. I would kind of just like to make a motion that we move this on to the planning board. I don't think there was anything really that we talked about that needs to be built into or sort of pass along to the planning board. So, thank you for this application. So I guess I'll make a motion to approve this.
As submitted, yep.
Okay?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Good luck and thank you.
Here's your sample. This is yours too.
Oh, thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you very much. Okay, our next item on the agenda is application number 24-06, located at 47 Interlaken Drive.
Good evening, members of the board. David Barbuti, architect, representing the Varnish residents. We're here tonight constructing a 16 by 27 second floor master bedroom addition off the rear, and some front facade modifications. If you look at some of the existing photos, Front has a very large, massive brick presence along the sides and the front. The owners really aren't that happy with that, so the idea is to drop it down at the garage door, 4 feet above grade, and install new vinyl siding throughout the house. As pictured on front elevation, to also break up the mass above the garage door, we're gonna do a small hip roof with some wood-painted white brackets. Some of the brick will be removed on the right-hand side as well. All the existing stone around the bay window will remain. Back of the house. Pretty self-explanatory. Most of the rear of the second floor will be dormered out for the master bedroom and the master bathroom suite. If there are any questions, more than happy to.
On the front facade, are there any lights going in, especially near the garage?
No. We have double brackets on each side.
Yeah, but no lights,
Right.
okay.
Do you have any sort of cut sheets or sort of a finish board of the proposed materials you're using?
Yep, sure. So, all the trim would be AZAC, white, either 5.5 or 3.5, 3.5 around the windows, 5.5 at the rakes and at the corner boards. Asphalt shingles on the roof is weathered wood to match existing.
Okay. So you're just putting the new shingle on the
Right.
addition?
It was just re-roofed about 10 years ago, so we're gonna weave in as we,
Okay.
in the front that we need where we need to raise the roof.
Mhm.
All the windows are going to be Anderson white replacement.
Mhm.
And vinyl siding is white. I couldn't get the sample of Certainty, but this is Royal Double 4 in white. Pretty much the same. Certainty's a thicker siding, more glare, but still.
Okay.
And the garage door is going to remain?
The garage door
Are you
is
gonna paint
existing
it or
to
anything?
remain. It's gonna stay white.
Okay,
That also has just recently been replaced over the past few years.
okay.
Sylvia, do you have any comments?
It's just a personal preference, but I really don't care for decorative oval louvers. I know it's just like, it's not functional, right? It's just, I think without it, it'd probably be better.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
I guess there's a vent there right now, right?
There's a vent there.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
So we-
There's a
so we-
little
so we
rectangle.
are
If you look at the
actually-
picture.
Yeah, so there is,
So it's a functional,
well,
it's
there's
a
a 12
functional
by
vent?
18 louver there.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's gonna be functional? Oh, okay.
If you want, I can put back.
No, I
the
don't,
square.
because it says decorative, so
Correct.
I'm just thinking it's sealed.
Well,
So that whole front gable above the garage, that's all gonna get this vinyl siding,
It's all gonna
right?
get, the whole house is gonna be re-sided. We're gonna get rid of the beige, it's in bad shape.
Okay.
Where there is vinyl siding,
But
go
you-
along the left-hand side, they wanted to reduce the mass a bit, so I dropped it about 2 or 3 feet. We're just
Right.
gonna bring the siding down a little bit.
So all the brick is coming down, like several feet?
Well, it's coming down to a point, so it's, I believe it's between, at
Like
the
a-
midway point
like a
between
water
the two
table kind of.
windows.
Right.
In a sense. like a water.
There's a cost associated with what they're trying to do, so we're trying to balance, you know, a look and, you know, what they need to get done.
Okay. So I'm going to make a motion that we open up the public hearing on application number 24-06. Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Anybody here would like to speak with regard to this
Yes.
application? Okay. Please come up, introduce yourself. Speak into the mic, please.
Hi, my name is Steve Gentili. I represent the owners of 49, the next-door neighbors. Just wanted to see what the project is. I have an 89-year-old mother who lives there. So I wanted to make sure that this wasn't impinging on her in any way, noise or traffic, or even what the extension, what kind of extent that this master, I think it's on the other side, right? I'm closer towards the cul-de-sac. You're doing the extension closer towards the... Yes. On the... Can you show me on the plans? Yeah. But, all right, so there's not going to be any
There's
extension
no additions on the ground, it's strictly straight above the existing.
coming straight up of what's there. All right, do you have any time frame of when the work will be done, started?
Probably, they're trying to get it done, you know, construction started over the summer, and try to get it pretty much buttoned up.
Can you just speak into the microphone when you speak? And you should please direct your questions to the board.
So construction will start hopefully late May, beginning of June, hopefully. If not, they want to try to get this knocked out over the summer.
And the amount of...
Microphone, please.
The amount of construction workers are coming in, because we have a cul-de-sac there. Typically, we get a lot of people parking if there's a party or so on. It's hard for us to get in sometimes, and of course, we have our own, the lawn guy coming in, and we just want to make sure that it's not impacting.
So framing crew will probably be 2 cargo vans. You know, there's plenty of room in front of in front of the house to park. No, I know. You know, I mean, the addition, take the roof off, put the shell up, shouldn't be more than a week. Electrician will come in by himself, you won't have the framers, plumber will come in, you know, so tradesmen will be on and off as it goes. So I don't think, you're not gonna have, you know, 25 cars there.
Sounds good. All right, I think that's my concerns.
Fair enough, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else like to speak? Okay, then, that being the case, I'd like to make a motion to close application 24-06.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so the public hearing is now closed. I see you're extending the height of the chimney, so I'm assuming, you know, you're gonna match the brick and...
Right, whatever we take down off the house, they're gonna reclaim these on the,
Okay. Okay. Anything else that anybody wants to sort of add? In terms of the sort of services, any sort of additional air conditioning equipment being proposed for the addition?
That has been replaced and it's sized for the addition. It's been done already.
Okay. And like, is there, you know, I see some landscaping and some sort of, some bushes to the right side of the steps. Are they going to remain? Is that going to be impacted by the
So,
work that's?
That's all to remain. Should have no effect on what's really going on with the construction, since most of the construction, all the construction's out the back, would except for raising the roof in the front.
And in terms of the asphalt, the shingles, is all of the new, the front roof, is that all going to be re-shingled? Because you're extending it and
So
it's
at this
kind of going up
point,
in the
no,
winter?
we've actually got to get a closer look, see what it looks like. You know, once I can see how bad it is. I didn't actually get up on the roof to see what it was.
But isn't the pitch of the,
Right, that has to get extended,
it's all going to be the same pitch, right?
right. I mean,
So-
I could get it reshingled, it's not that big of a deal. There's only
Yeah, I,
4 squares there. It's not that big of a deal to
Right.
reshingle it.
yeah, it just has to
Okay.
be, it has to
That's
all
fine.
look like it's
That's fine, that's fine.
it's not a patch
Okay.
quilted blanket. Okay. So, that being the case, then I'd like to make a motion to approve application number 24-06, located at 47 Interlaken Drive, with the provisos that the roofing be consistent, the new roofing be consistent. Anything else that we talked about?
That was the only condition that I heard, yeah.
Okay. That's it. So I'd like to make a motion to move this application on to the planning board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Matt, thank you. Okay, so the next item on our agenda is application number 24-07, located at 14 Shady Lane.
Better, there's some typos and some.
Thanks.
So this is the same set?
It's the same design, I had things like FAR instead of DFA, just
Uh-huh.
same, yeah.
Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Sid Schloman, architect, on behalf of the owners of 14 Shady Lane. So, one family residence, the application before you, the scope would be to, there's an existing partial second floor. The scope would be to remove the second floor, put on a proper full second floor with full 8-foot high walls, maximizing the square footage on the second floor, and doing an addition in the rear on the first floor, slightly more than the second floor, pushing it towards the rear yard. In terms of materials, siding, the entire house would be sided new. All the windows would be replaced with black, the Marvin Elevate series, and the garage door. The front facade would remain as is on the first floor. The windows stay where they are. The garage door stays where it is. The front door stays where it is. And the garage door would be black. and all the new windows, obviously, the Marvin Elevate Black, Hardy white siding, the Arctic white would be the color, and the project is fully zoning compliant. We would be adding a small patio in the rear, and we currently have Holt Engineering working on a stormwater plan for the next phases. Additionally, we'd be putting some dormers into the unfinished attic for street appeal. So all the roof shingles on a front portico on brackets over the front door, the main roof, and the rear shed roof over the kitchen would all be the charcoal grade, almost black, the Certainty GAF shingle.
I have a couple questions.
Sure.
I know you said you have the dormers on there for curb appeal. How do you get to that attic space?
It'll be a pull-down stair attic, just unfinished attic, probably mechanical equipment, some light storage, but the main purpose of those dormers are for street appeal.
I have a couple comments or ideas that I think would help the house. I think the dormers are too overpowering for the house, size-wise. I don't mind the dormers, but I think right now they're in the same plane as the front elevation. I think they should sit back a little bit. Secondly, and it works in the bedroom, the bedroom that has the 2 windows and over the bay window, yeah, that elevation looks very, it unbalances the house weight-wise. So I would think that you should separate those windows like the other side, which would help a lot. And I also think, I know the bay is an existing bay, but I think if you tie the bay roof line with a roof line going to the main portico, so it kind of, right, and also add columns to the portico because it just.
Yeah, in terms of zoning, the front yard setback, I thought the portico, if it had columns, it counts as a structure, and if it's on brackets, it's permitted. I think we were at the front.
That's something that, I don't know if that's true.
No.
Yeah, the house is at 30. I'll double check and see if it's permitted that way.
Because right now, it's just like, it looks too heavy on the left, and the roof looks too heavy. So bringing the columns down and the roof line will tie the bay window in more so. I could show you,
All good points.
I could show you this,
Oh, you have it?
yeah. Just, I mean, I guess you could show the,
Push this back, yeah.
yeah, you see how I made the black line so it looks like it sets back, and then the roof line?
Yeah, that would work.
You want to
Yeah.
pass that?
I agree, I think that would probably.
We make 6 copies of that and pass it around. And
And I see you have lights on both sides of the garage.
Yes.
And they look a little tiny. They need to be beefed up a little bit.
And a little low.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, we added this kind of pergola function over there, but we can raise it. You want it
A
more
little bit.
substantial?
Yeah, and we need cut sheets for your next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the pergola, but I also think, like you just mentioned, it should be a little bit beefier.
Yeah.
In the rendering, it looks like whatever the members are, there should be, you know, let's say a 2x12 with a 2x8 above it.
Yeah.
I think that would help a lot also. And I also think the garage doors are new.
The garage door is new and the same size?
I would add some
Glass?
glass at the top, because it'll balance out the glazing on the bay window as well.
Yeah, you have that on your markup here. Do you have any sort of sample board or
Oh,
samples
I
of the
have some
material?
material, sure. This is the hardy siding.
Mhm.
This is the AZEK trim. And this is the color here, the charcoal roof siding, roof shingles.
And you said the windows, and the garage door and the front entry door, do you have anything on those?
I don't have samples, but they're Marvin Black Elevate, and they are 2/2, all of them.
SDL.
Okay, I'm sorry?
SDL?
SDL, and their casements.
So I think as part of the next sort of go-around on this to the planning board, I think having like a cut sheet, maybe put it on a board, having that to sort of present, I think just enhances your presentation, and
Okay.
that kind of a picture in detail kind of helps everybody's understanding of all of the finishes and how everything sort of melds and
Ties
works
together.
together.
Yeah, that's what the renderings for, but I understand the cut sheets, yeah.
Do you want to see these changes again, or do you feel comfortable maybe putting them in conditions of a resolution for the planning board then to review?
Well, Sylvia, I'll defer to you. I think what you're proposing here is,
I think it could just be in the resolution, he could go forward, I'll give him this, and
No.
I guess you have it in the meeting.
I'll take a picture.
Yeah, why
and
don't
we
I
can-
take
Yeah.
it and
Rework the
then I can
rendering.
scan it and send it to,
yeah,
I'll scan it and send it to you.
Okay.
Okay?
yeah, listen, I think, the current elevations, there's something nice and very sort of clean about, the lines, but I do see some, sort of imbalance in, the dormers. I certainly think pushing them back,
I agree with that. and the
right? I
roof-
think,
I think the second floor windows, we try to align over the existing
Right.
first, so it's kind of a
Right.
toss-up. But
Exactly.
I agree with spreading it out, yeah.
right, and I think, putting that, putting that roof across sort of splits up it kind of just gives it more of a cadence and more of a, sort of easier aesthetic, like certainly
Agree. Okay.
on the ice. So I think that's certainly, and I would agree, I think, we would certainly rely on you taking this sort of guidance on board and implementing that and sort of putting it all together as part of your presentation to the planning board. So I would like to make a motion to open up application number 24-07
Second.
to the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, public hearing's now open. Anybody here? Yes, if you could come up and introduce yourself and ask whatever questions you may have.
Hello, my name's Gabriella. I'm the neighboring house, 12 Shady Lane. We also did a gut renovation, not addition, a couple of years back, so this is exciting. I just have a question. I'm a registered nurse and I work night shift, so I just wanted to know how long the completion of the project may be and the total square footage.
The total square footage is about 2,400, less than 2,500 in total. From once approvals and a permit is granted, it's probably, is a 5-month project. There's different phases. There's demolition, and then framing, electrical, so different crews, different noise levels, but all within the working hours that are permitted in the town.
And you're going up and back, not wide?
Correct.
Okay, wide, yeah. It's a pretty narrow lot. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else interested in speaking? So that being the case, I'd like to make a motion to close application 24-07, to close the public hearing. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the public hearing is now closed. Okay, so, any other sort of final closing comments?
Oh, I have a summary of some of the changes, of all the changes that you
Okay.
suggested, so if you want me to,
Yeah, so why don't
repeat
why
that?
don't you summarize those first, and then I can sort of make a motion
Sure.
to include those.
So, the conditions would be to incorporate the changes in the markup. We'll collect all of those just with reference to the markup of the elevation. To make the pergola a little bit more substantial over the garage, to add glass to the top of the garage door, and to make the light fixtures a little bit larger at either side of the garage door, and to provide cut sheets to the planning board.
Yeah, and I think as part, just in addition to that, we said it, but to have it included as part of, our motion is to ensure that whatever lights currently look either side of the garage door, that they're appropriately sized, and also at, the required height, so they're not too low. So those items, we would like those to be incorporated into our approval. So based on that, I'd like to make a motion that we approve application 24-07 and move it on with those conditions onto the planning board. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, I'll take them, thank you, and I'll send this to you.
Okay. Moving on, our next item on the agenda is application number 23-15, Sal's Market and Pizza, located at 751 White Plains Road.
Hello.
Hello, Peter, how you doing?
So, I have paperwork to give somebody.
Me. Perfect, thank you. Great, yep, thank you.
Okay, so, let's see.
Just the microphone, please. Thanks.
Hi there, I'm Peter Gato, the architect for the project. So I think everybody knows the site, but I'll just quickly show you again. It's on a busy intersection, White Plains Road, and we were at the zoning board previously and reworked some of the front facade and front parking areas and front traffic and ingress and egress to make it safer for both people driving and entering and exiting the project. With that, the front of the building is, that was the only change to the front, and the building itself is existing. Nothing's changing to the building as it is. But we are doing a little bump in the back, and I will show you the renderings for that. So the purpose of the addition is essentially just to extend the store, the downstairs for interior usage for the existing restaurant deli, and upstairs 2 offices. And because of that, Let's see, the plans you saw there, it's just a couple of windows and a exterior staircase to get to that second floor. And then everything else is just connected to downstairs directly below as an existing extension. And let's see, here is the elevations. I have a material board. Just as a refresher, the front of the building currently is this. Fix that. The front of the building is currently a cream color with a dark green signage, dark green awning, and with the addition and the extension in the back, we're going to clean and repaint the entire building as an opportunity to make all four sides look better and cleaner. In the same color scheme that's currently there. And this is the back, this is the side, this is the front, this is the back. The addition is going to go essentially here. This is the side A and side north side, south side. Just as in context, I'll get to the elevation in a second. In context, you have a shopping center or another shopping center to the south and a gas station to the north with some shrubbery and some tall signs and things like this. So our building essentially is same in the front, existing pole, some shrubbery in the front that's going to be new, matching the curb cuts, the additions in the back. The proposed, again, just keeping the same color scheme as before. This is the front elevation, so we're trying to pick a light materials that are a little more commercial in nature, a little more modern, and then sort of just have a separate element to what's connected to the color scheme with the existing Sal's Market. So we chose a pale gray and a dark roof to kind of hug the building down into the side, and then maintain the rest of the color scheme around. A couple windows on each side. Lighting is existing. That's essentially on the back level to shine just where the parking area is on around, so they're going to have cutoffs directly down there. The closest apartment building is the entire length of this site behind us, and the gas station again on either side, and the shopping center on this side. The material board, where was it? Here's the materials, just to show. I think you have this one. It's the gray siding, stone stucco color, and then the timberline shingles. With these materials I have with me here, if you wanted to see any of them. That is it.
I don't know. I would think not.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so
So the intention here is to sort of really add a walk-in box, right? like
That's
that?
it, yep.
So I saw in your handout that it looks like there's something on the back of the behind the building right now. Do we know what that is or not?
What's that?
Well, it looks like it's.
Looks like a trailer, not on wheels.
Container or a trailer or something.
In the photo?
Yeah, if you look at-
there's a couple of containers that are there.
A10. It looks like like a box from a box truck.
Who's this guy?
I'm not sure what this guy is. What, let me see. This is the drawing?
We'll open to public
It's on
comments in a
the-
few
on the
minutes.
photograph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The photos?
Yeah.
Okay,
All right,
sure.
let's just,
So what's the question?
Well, what is that?
what's the purpose of that
Oh,
box?
that's the question. So that's storage that's going to be gone. It's
It's temporary storage, I guess? Is that what you said? It's gonna be gone?
what's that?
It's gonna be gone, is that what you said?
Yeah, I don't know how long they've had this here. I don't know how long it's been there, but when cleaning up the site, the property, there's no need for whatever's in there, and they're gonna get rid of that container and the side containers on that side too.
All right.
Okay.
Can you go back to your elevations?
Sure.
I'm gonna give you my comments.
Say it again?
I want to give you my comments about it. I don't think this is the place to make something stand out as an addition, and that's what it's basically saying to me. This is what I would do in this instance. The addition should be stucco to match the building, not vertical vinyl siding. The roof should be a flat roof, not a shed roof. And also, the roof should be as low as possible. It looks like at the lowest elevation, if that window head is 6'8", it looks like your ceiling height might be 8 or 9 feet. So I think we don't want it to stand out. So if you make an 8-foot ceiling plus structure, a flat roof, and just make it stucco to match the rest of the building, I think it'll help a lot, because it just reads like a separate entity. It's too tall, and I mean, I understand that you want, the owner, I guess, wants 2 offices and a bathroom, but also you have to enter that from an exterior staircase in the rain.
Yeah.
I know it's not ideal, but I just think it just reads so tall. So, I mean, you could probably drop that if you make a flat roof and you make the ceiling height of, basically like, let's say
Yeah.
18 inches above the window head.
Yeah, essentially the low point of the roof here.
Yeah. And a straight line, and make it stucco as well. I don't think, the vertical gray siding just makes it read taller.
Mm-hmm.
And vinyl siding, honestly, it's not gonna last in a commercial setting, I think, if the whole building is stucco.
Yeah. Points well taken. I agree with all of them. I'll give you a 10-second background just in case you want to go the A or B. The worry was that it would look like it was too much of a lump. It was too similar. So it was dissimilar. You might as well make it very dissimilar. That was the sort of the thinking with the owner and myself. But if you think it would sort of blend in better and disappear as stucco, I have no problem with that.
I think in this instance, it does. It's not a modern residential home on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it's designed, it certainly stands out,
Yeah,
which I don't know if that's a good thing.
sure.
Basically, its location, off of the intersection of, what is that, Wilmont? Like you see that, as soon as you,
Yeah,
it's
right,
gonna be
where-
like, boom, right in your face.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think, the shopping strip that you refer to on the south side.
Yeah.
I think your drawings, that elevation is reflected on, sort of a pre-existing condition of the building. That building has been upgraded
Yes.
and enhanced significantly from what it looks like in the pictures and also on your streetscape. So, again, that's stuccoed. It's got very clean lines in terms of the signage and the lighting and we would certainly encourage you to kind of look at that
Yeah.
and try and certainly match that and the appearance that that now has. In terms of this mass on top of the building, I agree. I think it should look to sort of blend in with what's there as opposed to kind of stand out. So I certainly would agree with my colleague Silvio in the fact that if we can kind of reduce it in scale as much as we can and try and have it blend in with whatever sort of upgrades you're proposing, as part of the overall sort of enhancement of the existing property. Any comments, Carlos?
I agree with every comment you guys have That's all I have.
I do have a question. You said you were going to they were going to clean the building and repaint it. It's going to be repainted the same color?
Yes, this color.
Okay.
It's
And
Slightly yes, less yellow, but this color.
Okay, and will you repave the asphalt parking lot?
Painting the parking
Repave
lot?
the parking lot, or it's just going to be the building?
She said a repave.
Repave the parking lot?
Oh, you know, it's in decent shape,
Okay,
so probably not, but there's gonna be definitely striping throughout the whole section. So I think with for striping, they're gonna power wash whatever stains are there and kind of clean it up to that point. And they're prepared to prepare.
it's just, I'm asking because if you clean the building, you repaint it, you put a new piece onto the building, and then you have this old lot, it kind of brings it all down, because it's a sizable lot in front of,
Yeah.
frontage in front of that building. So I'm just, in case you have the budget to do it, it would be a good idea.
I have another, now that you brought that up. And I'm not the landscape architect here, but
I agree, those are good points.
I actually was there the other day, and the owner has some shrubbery in pots, like 4 arborvitaes. And I mean, it looks nice, but I think if they actually made like planters on both sides of the entryway, so you have more greenery, it would help that site overall a lot.
Yeah, because you don't notice the softscape.
No, the entire front is gonna be redone landscaping-wise, so, how much, I don't.
But we didn't see that.
You didn't tell us that.
Yeah, it's gonna be totally redone. So everything, this is all new plantings. We can't move that pole, but curb cut and plantings and shrubbery and sort of low rise so cars can see it is gonna be this line right here. Is all new. And all these spaces are gonna be realigned, restriped, and a restriped area in front here. So everything look
So
totally
you
new.
have, is that what you just mentioned is planting on the curb?
Do I have what?
Say it again?
That's plantings on the curb, you said?
I didn't see anything.
That line, yeah, those dotted
This
lines.
line, it's inside the property line.
Yeah, go ahead. No.
I know, but what is that? That's plantings, you said?
Yes, like the gas station, it's just a raised low planter. What's the matter?
No, I'm just wondering, I don't know if that's even allowed right on the curb like that.
What's that?
Oh, it said
It's
behind
inside the property line.
But, okay. I was actually thinking plantings against the building. I didn't realize you even had a planting plan.
This was for traffic and zoning for 3 meetings to get this developed. It's a much
Oh, that's to
safer.
stop traffic from driving in and out everywhere?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because it
Oh, yeah, it's
actually is.
dangerous.
Okay.
So this is an improvement, and with the improvements, I'm saying all the shrubbery and the plantings are a good idea, but there, we
So
could,
that's gonna stop, so
So I
that's
think we
like
could put
an
them-
in and an out, you
Right.
go around.
correct. I'd rather just have an empty, rather have some landscaping in front of there, restriping the entire front there, clear so it's, lines and repainted, striped with that cleaning of the property. And then whatever happens at the back, we'll clean it up and paint new lines and striping.
Is this part of the set that you submitted to us? This planting area?
The what?
This,
I
what
can't
you're
hear you.
showing us right now, the planting area, is it part of the sheet set that
I
you...
believe so, yeah.
Because I can't find it.
Is it the top sheet?
While you're looking for that, I'm looking at
Yeah, here it
the streetscape,
Yeah,
I feel that the elevation you show tells the story that it really doesn't go there. This really throws the whole escape off by putting this structure up the way it is. That's my opinion. I think you should think this and figure out a way of making it look more like part of the building. To me, it's just, you just took half of the building off. It's just working on half of the building, and what happened to the rest of the building? It's like not making the whole escape.
you're talking about the back, the rear addition again?
The new
This
addition.
part?
Yep.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think I could say right this second, well, I will match this through stucco and get rid of the siding. I can speak on behalf of the owner. I'm not gonna even, that's a non-deal. And this, if you wanna make this flat, that's fine. We really kept it as shallow as we possibly could to have shingles, that's really the reason why we did it. But if you want us to lower it and have a shed lower this point,
I'm not even talking about lowering the building, I'm talking about the entire thing in terms of being just one half is just getting an addition. What happened to the other half of the building?
There's no need, no function for it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, that this really doesn't do anything to the building, just like, it's gonna look like completely out of place.
What is?
It's, it's already approved by the zoning board, so we're trying to make it as attractive as we possibly can at this point. And I think the suggestions for the stucco are good. I don't know if you heard me before, but the shingles, the reason for the pitch was just to get asphalt shingles there too. So if
Well,
we want to
that-
drop the whole thing down to keep
And a
asphalt.
flat roof, it has to be a flat, it has to be a EPDM roof, not a pitched roof.
That, exactly. So we're trying to make it as shallow as we can to use shingles. Otherwise, anything less than that, we're going to go flat EPDM or that PVC or something, yeah. And then it's a different curb detail and a drainage detail. It's a little more involved.
No, I understand. But it just I'm like saying, it just reads way too tall. And to put a pitch on that roof, I
If
mean,
I-
the minimum pitch you have to do on an asphalt shingle roof should be a 412, not even a 312. So,
Well, you can go down, well, if you know residential houses, they go down 212. 312 is the comfort, but they can do 212. But to drop as low as I can, so right now, yeah, it's only 8 feet, so, inside. It's 12 feet to 20, it's only 8 feet. So it's not that tall. I mean, maybe it looks tall here, but it's really not. It's 8-foot ceiling, and then we just raise it up for the shingles, that's really it. I don't know, it's a different detail for EPDM, but if you really insist, then you can look at it.
yes, yeah, you have to do a parapet and a roof drain, or a scupper.
Yeah, you can do that.
But-
It's not so much that, it's just the parapet and the connection, and there's a little more fussiness with it, that obviously the shingles, maintenance issues and things like that.
Is there any sort of proposed enhancements for the interior of the store? Is that getting?
It's a good question. As far as I know, when they do the work, they're going to work from the outside in for convenience and less dust and such. But they are removing several pieces of equipment into this, and there's going to be some shuffling around. And I think with that, there's going to be opportunity to clean up the interior, as well as right now the current office that Sal has is on the first floor, which is not going to be used anymore. That'll be cleaned up as well. As far as the rest of it and counter and such, I'm not sure.
You've been in the store, right?
Yes.
Peter? As have I. I'm glad you used that term, clean up, like it's a mess. So I certainly, would hope, given the opportunity to enhance this project, certainly from the outside.
I agree. I mean, I think that everything the board said makes a lot of sense, that you're going through all this effort to clean up a nice property, fix it safety-wise, follow through a little bit on the inside and make it a cohesively done thing. So I'm going to definitely...
Your client's not here, the owner's not here, right?
No.
Okay,
No, the other owner's reps was here, he's not here today, no.
okay.
But I'll certainly tell them what we spoke about.
Yeah, listen, I certainly think it would be advantageous if.
Yeah,
if
they
it was
they
here.
have to move some things around, so it's gonna be a space where there was equipment and shelving, so when it's not there, and if you move, you're almost halfway there anyway, so I think it's a good chance, as you said, opportunity that makes sense.
Yeah, again, that's not necessarily our purview, but.
Right.
But, we do have a little bit of say in, how this will move forward, and certainly we would like to maybe, make that certainly something that we would like to be strongly considered. So I would like to make a motion to.
I
Yeah.
have a couple of comments.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Can we go back to your site plan?
Yes.
Okay, on the site plan, it says there's gonna be new fence and gate on both sides of your new traffic, scheme, it seems, on both sides. What material will those fences and gates be?
Where do you see new fence and gate? You mean here, this one?
New fence
On
and
the,
gate?
on the side of the building?
Yes.
Oh, that's just a simple, black aluminum gate. It's meant just to kind of, it's open most of the day, as you can see.
Well, we really need to know what the gate's gonna look like, what material it's gonna be, how big it's going to be.
Black aluminum and whatever the tallest that the village allows.
That's not good enough. Is it gonna be 7 feet, 4 feet?
What does it mean, 7 feet, 4 feet?
The size of the gate and
The height?
fence? Yes.
The height, well, 4 feet, that's what we decided.
What's the purpose of those gates? Like, that's just for like, I guess, food drop-off, like truck delivery?
It's for truck delivery, and really it's kind of separated out into, the public is for the.
Yeah, so
for the
no one
pub-
can go back there.
Right, that's all it is. It's just like a gate to your garden that's just meant to not encourage people to drive up there and give them a chance to see that and then park over here.
Okay, so there's also gonna be this planter in the front, and it's gonna go on both sides of your utility pole that's existing. What shrubs are gonna go in there?
Boxwoods.
Boxwoods. Not the best choice.
Prefer.
There's lots of things I'd prefer. Boxwoods right now have a disease, so they may not last.
Diseased?
They're susceptible to a disease, yes, and they might not last.
I think the client's open to a suggestion. We'll certainly
Okay,
put that in.
but they just can't be any taller than 3 feet,
Yes.
so.
Yeah, exactly. I was saying before, that I want to make sure it's a low level for visual continuity and
That's
and
correct.
safety and those sort of things. Absolutely.
So with regard to the fence and the gates, that's just something that needs to kind of be further,
Okay.
detailed as part of this, I guess, site
Right, so
plan
the-
or
so the-
landscaping plan.
Like a catalog cut, like attached to the
Yeah.
drawing?
Sure.
Is there any, and again, going back to the elevation, anything else, Jen?
No.
Going back to the elevation, I know that there's all sorts of improvements and enhancements, but the sign is existing and the
Yes.
awning is existing, right?
Yes,
Like-
yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I would like to make a motion to open up application 23-15, located at 751 White Plains Road, to the public. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, anybody here that would like to speak? Please come up, state your name.
I think so. There's a lot going on.
Good evening. My name is Robert Pulaski. I'm at 97 Maple Street. That's directly behind Sal's Market. I've been a resident of Eastchester for 25 years and have been at 97 Maple Street for about 2 years. I do have a photo of what I see out of my window. I think it's pertinent to what I would like to address this board with, and I'd like to hand it out at this time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks. Yes, correct.
Right, you served on the planning board for many, many years.
Yes.
Thank you for your service, by the way.
Okay, I had to downgrade, and in the process of downgrading, I had to move out of Eastchester, so I had to separate from the board. Okay, so the first thing I'd like to say is I'm happy for this addition, because it takes, from my aspect, a eyesore of this refrigerator compartment that's existing in the back of the building. I'm surprised that it's there. I'm surprised that it's allowed to be there. It has striping on it. It's something that looks like it comes off of a refrigerator truck. The truck parts is gone, but the refrigerator compartment is there. And I think that in a way, this is a little bit of an education statement now. A lot of what planning and your board and zoning was all about was to improve the appearance of, and maintain the appearance of the town. And so when you see a back like this is old school, and I recognize it as old school. It's existing Eastchester. And that's why when they came before the zoning board, they came with legal nonconformity, which always makes a project like this difficult to put in. But with that said, I'm kind of going along with Silvio, and it was the main purpose I was here, and that was to suggest stucco instead of vinyl. The building is stucco. Next door is stucco. And they just redid all of that stucco. It's in beautiful shape.
Mm-hmm.
The other side is a gas station, so you can't compare it to the gas station. I think I was in the construction business. I focused on materials. I don't like vinyl. I see a lot of problems that crop up with vinyl. Not all vinyl. Some vinyl gets done very well, but there are problems when the light hits it. There's expansion and contraction and bulging and such. And so, and I also think that when you get some moss growth, like you see on a lot of fences, it's more predominant when it's on a piece of vinyl than it is if it's on other materials. So that was my principal recommendation, that it be stucco or ephes, which is, I consider that a modern day stucco. Also, when you look at the plans in around here and whatever, there are a lot of loose wires and conduits. Going up to this air conditioning unit here, you can see that how a lot of the air conditioners people will add a unit to the roof, and they'll just wrap around the power wire and the tubing and such, and just go up the building. Now that you're going to spend the time and the money on putting in an air conditioner, you're going to also refinish the face like it says on the drawings. I just think that these things should be noted. Perhaps going along with that same line of thinking is lighting. I don't see any lighting on the drawings. Probably there will be some lighting in the back. I don't think there's a lot needed there. I think you just, but next door to me is this strip mall, and that existing lighting there, which is angled up and angled out, shines right in our face. I haven't complained about that, but I'm just concerned that I don't open a door for that type of lighting on this project. I think so. This is not in your purview, but I think that there is a parking issue out in front. I heard zoning board talk about it a lot. It's a difficult thing because it's an as-of-right building, and it's just tough to deal with all of the constraints you've got. But I probably will address it to the planning board, and that's it. I'm with you. And as far as ephes, I also think that this design is not something you see around Eastchester. it's the vertical slats. I've seen it on buildings up in the houses up in the country. It was the old way of doing like a plywood, and then you would have the slats on the front. I just don't think that it's becoming of Eastchester. And I know that a lot of the stuff is just permitted because, and all your board is an encouragement, but I think that from, I always like to look at it from an owner's standpoint. It makes a nicer place, it makes a nicer neighbor. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So I guess before we kind of make a motion to possibly close the public hearing, I'm just wondering, what's our thought process? Are we looking to I think there's quite a bit of ground covered here as part of this discussion.
Meaning,
We're looking
coming
to
back?
have this come back and
Yes.
leave the public hearing open?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to leave the public hearing. We're not going to close the public hearing at this time.
So even though I agreed to everything you said, you still want me to come back?
Correct.
Well, how come? What am I gonna, what's the next meeting gonna be discussing?
Well, I think that, you know, a lot of items have kind of been discussed, right? Regarding the finishes, right? Regarding the height, regarding the roof pitch, you know, some of the comments regarding the site, the improvements on the site, the fencing, the gate, you know, the shrubbery, you know, cleaning up some of the existing conditions, such as the cabling. It looks like from this picture that was shared by, you know, a resident, which certainly is well within their rights. This is the forum they have to come and speak. You know, there's a satellite dish on this. Obviously, that's going to have to be removed. Like, you know, is there, you know, the parapet and the copings, has that kind of been addressed? Is that getting changed on all three sides of this, you know, the building as part of the upgrade? You know, I guess, is the whole building getting a new roof as part of the addition? You know, the other side of the you know, the roof. So I think there's a fair amount that needs to you know, to get looked at as part of this sort of evolution of this design and application. So I think that's the reason we feel as a board that I think it needs to come back to us.
Excuse me, and Mr. Pulaski has something else to say.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I looked down at my notes and I missed this one, but you mentioned it, and that is the parapet. If you look at the back of the building, you add a section, and then there's a section of open parapet. There is no parapet there. It's not open. There is no parapet there. I think the building will look nicer if that parapet is concluded. It's a low parapet. It's not going to hide the stuff behind it. It'd be great if it did, but it's never going to do that. But from the rear, it just looks incomplete. And it goes back to what I was saying that before, that a lot of buildings were built so they appear right from the sidewalk. But I'm in the rear, and I see a missing parapet. So between the addition, yes.
The reason why there's no parapet in the back is because the roof is pitched to the back and it's a gutter.
The drain.
So a difference is that a suggestion, because that's gonna be just, too costly for the owner, is maybe they could build some kind of screening, once the structure's up, because the structure's on at least, let's say, 1/3 of the width of the building from the back, you're not gonna see the parapet, that open parapet anymore, because it's going up another story. But the remaining piece that you would want a parapet, it could just maybe be some kind of screening.
Right.
Like,
Well, they could put
I
scuppers
got-
through a parapet too, but it just looks incomplete. The parapet can't come up high enough to really screen the mechanicals like you can do when you build a new building, but it just looks like something's missing when you look at it from the back, and it was never meant to be looked at from the back until they built 97 Maple, and now you
right,
look at it
which
from
is
the
a
back.
couple stories high, right?
Okay, thank you for that, allowing me to indulge on that.
The color photo again? It'll help me to help you.
I don't think we have to write the building would do. Oh, yeah, not this, though.
No.
Yeah, and again, I think, Peter, looking at, all the sort of visual aids and the pictures that you've provided as part of the application, this stucco looks like it's, you hit it, it's gonna, I'm not even sure it's stucco, it looks like it's a plastered finish, but, there's, cracks all over it, it looks like it's, it's in a pretty, bad state of kind of disrepair. So I kind of think if you're addressing this, it's got to be done. It's got to be done properly.
What does that mean? Repairs will be done to prep it. I mean, the entire point of the project is not doing anything with the building. So this entire point of the project was to get interior space and to have offices above. That's really it. Everything else is sort of a result of planning from our point of view and working with the zoning board, and we are going to clean and paint the entire part. So, I mean, we're going to repair and place what's there, but we're not going to redo the entire,
Okay, but you're saying on your, it says existing stucco finish to be painted.
Correct. But if it needs repair first, then obviously we're going to repair it.
Okay. But
Yeah, sure.
Then that's what it needs to say. It doesn't say that.
Oh.
It just says existing stucco finish to be painted, off-white. And again, listen, I know
So you're taking it literally. I get it. I know. I would never. That makes sense. I mean,
because if that's what it says, then that we have to read it, literally what
Sure.
it says.
Makes sense.
But looking at the pictures, the stucco looks, at the back of the building, it's the right-hand corner, there is no stucco there. It's all out, and it just got painted.
I'll make more notes on all four sides. Sure.
So, as part of this application, and here's the opportunity, it's coming before our board, we're here for a reason, right? Here's the opportunity. The building right next door went through the exact same sort of an upgrade. It was in disrepair, it was a little bit of a hodgepodge, there was maybe 4 or 5 different units. It had like a canopy on the front. Again, it's indicated on your elevation. That building has...
It also came in front of us twice.
Right. That building went through a extensive upgrade. It looks fantastic. So we feel that this shouldn't be any different, because it's not. Not to mention it's right next door. So there's a little bit of a precedent that's set there. And listen, we all live here. This is what we do. This is the time we put in to upgrade our community and make it better.
I think a lot of it is just notes in your drawing, like remove existing trailer, open up cracks, patch and paint stucco, and also, obviously the main thing is going to be take out our advice and make it stucco the building, the addition, with the flat roof, keep it as low as possible. You don't want it to stand out. Because, you know, when you come up Wilmot, you see that the building, like the gentleman just mentioned, the building next door is new stucco, the restaurant across the street is stucco, and your building is stucco. It kind of like, it sets the precedent like Enda mentioned. And actually, right now, the canopy of the gas station, your addition is even higher than that, according to your elevation. So if you know, you made that flat roof, it might be along the lines of similar. It might blend in better.
Sure.
So we're certainly, you know, not looking to make this more difficult than it has to be. And I think as the, you know, as the architect and the design professional, you know, I know you want to try and make it as good as it can be.
Absolutely.
So, you know, that's really what we're looking to try and convey to you. And I certainly think the next time you come before this board, your client needs to be here. I think it's in his, or in their best interest for them to be here, because they should hear, you know, what we as this board, you know, is saying as part of this application. So, you know, we can sort of highlight some of the items we talked about, or unless you kind of have them all up there. Very good. Okay. So again, just to sort of to summarize what the resident said, I think we would certainly like the wires and you know, some of the conduits and cables to be managed a little bit better on the back of the building and cleaned up. You know, sort of clean up the backyard and any sort of items or equipment that's no longer in use on the roof. We talked about the stucco, we talked about the fencing and the gates, materials, the color, the heights, and the sizing. And again, just something that I would like to be strongly considered is just as part of the overall upgrade, some consideration to be given to the inside of the store also.
Yes.
And one last thing, because it's happened over the years, and it was actually mentioned by that gentleman. On your elevations, show the lighting and be specific about the lighting.
Yeah.
Let's say if it's like on a timer, if it's enough looms for nighttime for security, but not bright enough that's going to bother somebody that lives across the street in their eye. Things like that.
Yeah, I will certainly do that.
The height, it should shine down, not up.
Yeah, make sure if it has a,
Yeah, because that happens all the time.
Yeah. What kind of shrubbery would you like to see?
Kind of what?
shrubbery.
What would
You
you
can
like to
ask-
see? What would you like to
Ask
see?
a landscape architect that you work with.
What's that?
You could ask a landscape architect that you work with. It's a high-traffic area. It's got a, you know, it's something that's semi-evergreen or evergreen, that's taller than 3 feet high, that you can still see over it, especially when you're driving. And you're actually going up in grade into that parking lot. So it should be low enough that when you're entering the parking lot and going up, it's not in your line of vision. And you can see people crossing the street when you come out, walking on the sidewalk.
That planter you're introducing is gonna help a lot, because that spot,
Is
there's like
bad.
cars coming everywhere out of there. And
This is going to be night and day getting in here with this addition. The clear entrance in, clear entrance out, it's going to be night and day safety.
that's a good idea, to be honest.
Yes. But what's the planter going to be made of?
What's the question?
The planter, what will it be made of? What's the material of
It's
the
not really a
planter?
planter. It's a Belgian block sort of curb and then, low shrubbery.
So it's a
and
planting bed?
That's it, yeah.
Okay.
And then a couple bushes.
That makes
Knee-high
sense.
on top of that. Just enough to distinguish it so cars don't drive over it.
No, it's a good idea. You'll
curb
be
appeal.
hiding the pole even.
Yeah,
It'll be great.
yeah, I want the town to move the pole. They said no.
No, well, it's for the
Con
street
Ed or
light.
wherever else they said no. The goal is to radically improve the look and cleanliness of the entire thing, and all the wires and everything else. That's it's it's implied they're all going to be cleaned up, but I'll make it note and very clear what's going to be cleaned up as well. And we are conscious that unfortunately, fortunately, it borders a residential neighborhood, but just in terms of scale, his window is the entire length of the site back here. So his building, the window is here. It's not here. There's a parking lot, and then there's a building here. So if you look in scale, the depth of the lot, mirror that over, is where the building starts, just in terms of distance.
Well, I mean, it's unfortunate that that building, predates his building.
Yeah, his is
and
very nice.
Now that he looks down on it, so, if you're gonna.
So we're conscious of that, cleaning up the-
I'm assuming they're, if they're gonna do that addition, a two-story addition, and they're doing all that hardscape and landscaping outside, they're gonna probably go through the inside of the building and do the inside over as well. So it's only gonna take, X amount of time more to clean up the outside a little bit more. And,
Right, and you're right, and we are conscious that, we are conscious, not just the back of a building, it's the back of a building happens to face a nice residence, so we're trying to make the clean up as much as we can for the residents, so,
I always tell someone, think if you were that person,
yes, absolutely.
like you were the neighbor,
Yeah,
not just the architect or the board member.
sure.
Okay, so I guess we'll see you back here, if
When's the next meeting, do you know, by
next
chance?
meeting's in May 6th, I believe, May 2nd?
May 2nd.
But I think you just need to, depending on how quickly you can get everything revised, you just need it in what, 2 weeks
Sure,
before?
April 16th is the submission deadline.
April 16th?
Correct.
Oh, yeah, plenty of time.
Okay,
Thanks so much for your comment, thanks for your help.
see you next time.
Bye, thanks, everybody.
So, I'm not sure we can fall back and approve. It's not like Laura is here, so we
Sure.
can't. So the March 7th meeting minutes
We'll carry that through
will
for the
carry
next
out
agenda. Yep.
to the next May 2nd. So that's our last item on the agenda this evening. I'd like to make a motion to close the April 4th Architectural Review Board meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the meeting is closed. Good night and thank you, everyone.